Hello, this is Mandi Caudill. I am the instructor for the New York City class, which is called Agroecology and Food Systems. This is our fourth year offering this class, and I have taught it the past 2 years, and I'm excited to be teaching it again this summer. So even though we're staying in New York City, we are still outside a whole bunch. So don't be worried that just because it's based at Columbia that we're going to be inside the classrooms. So this course covers ecology, as all the SEE-U courses do, but we're looking at ecology through the lens of agriculture. And we'll talk about agriculture both globally and locally. We will get to visit a lot of different farms, so farms that are within the city themselves, like the rooftop gardens or community gardens, but then we also go to farms that are outside of New York City, about 2 hours or so outside of the city. So the main course objectives are to gain an understanding of ecology and environmental science, to become familiar with sustainable agriculture and try to really tease apart what that means and look at that from a couple of different viewpoints from different stakeholders. Does it mean the same thing to the farmer that it does to the consumer? And then we will explore a lot of the challenges that are associated with that. So we'll look at agriculture in the city itself, as I mentioned, and then also in more rural areas. And then one of the big parts of this class is learning how to design your own research project and to collect scientifically sound data and then analyze it and display it and then present to the class. So we don't anticipate that you have any sort of science or research background necessarily coming into this. So we help you devise your research plan and figure out how to collect the data in this short amount of time that we have. And then at the end, we will give the research presentations where every student will talk about their project so that we can all learn from what other people have done. So some of the site visits are within farms that are certified organic. We have a farm that we go to that's biodynamic. Some are not certified at all, and so we'll also have the chance to be able to talk to the farmers and understand their management systems and why they farm in the way that they do and what are some of the challenges that they see with farming and agriculture in the city and around the city. We also have a lot of different labs, so this is a very hands-on class. It's very experiential. We get outside, we get dirty, we learn how to do soil tests, we look at insect diversity, we take vegetation measurements, and so we take all of this data when we're out doing our site visits, and then we bring it back to the classroom in our recitations and learn how to analyze it and how to write up the lab reports based on those. So this is what a typical week could look like. So all of our weeks are varied, but generally we'll have lectures in the morning and then we break for lunch. In the afternoons, we will do a recitation or a lab. And then we also try to bring in a lot of different guest lecturers that are within the field of agriculture or ecology and just be able to speak to different people in the industry about what they're doing. And then we will be out in the field a whole lot. So usually at least 2 days a week we are off campus. So we will take a bus from campus if we're going somewhere outside of the city. And so transportation is not required on your part. We have that all arranged. If we are going somewhere in the city, then we'll take the subway. Some examples of what some previous final projects have looked like are listed here. So people have looked at comparing carbon footprints from New York City or figuring out how to reduce the carbon footprint. There's been comparisons of soil fauna and nutrients between some of the urban farms that we visited and then the rural ones. And then also there's been a lot of projects where people look at different neighborhoods within the city and come up with projects based on that. So looking at different economic status within the neighborhoods and then how that could relate to the community gardens, for example, and how they measure sustainability. And we get to go to all these beautiful farms, and this is a picture of some insect sampling that we were doing on in a landscape where there's a lot of farms in the area, but we get to stay about 2 nights at the Juan Dharma Center, and go to some different farms in the area during that. And this is a picture of Rise and Roots Farm, which is gorgeous, and it's also run by Karen Washington, and so we get a chance to speak with her. Then we go to Stone Barn Center and understand their farm management and get to speak to the farm manager and look at some of the ways that they're dealing with sustainability on their farms. And this is an example of a community garden in East New York in Brooklyn. So an example of one of the urban gardens that we go to. And then, as I mentioned, we get to have this beautiful overnight stay at the Juan Dharma Center where we can go to several farms in the area. So that last year we added in some dairy farms, which was really interesting, and I think we're going to be incorporating that again this year. And then finally, this is not a farm, but we also get to go on a nice hike in the Hudson Valley. So yeah, the course is a lot of fun. We talk a lot about agriculture and sustainability and learn about ecology through that lens.